Welcome to this yoga practice. Come to the front of your mat and stand in Tadasana pose, feet hip width apart. And just begin to rock on your feet, just forwards and back gently, keeping contact with the mat with all points of the feet. So you're noticing the ball of the foot, the inside and outside, the heel. Also noticing that little space of energy underneath the arches of the feet as well. And then begin to take that movement in a circular motion, very subtle, and again keeping the feet in contact with the ground, staying grounded. Just observing that contact with your mat, with the earth. And reverse the circle in the opposite direction. And begin to steady yourself in the centre, adopting Tadasana, mountain pose again. So all points of your feet are grounded. Your knees are soft, your pelvis is neutral. Your spine is long, including the back of your neck, with the chin slightly tucked. Shoulders are relaxed down and the crown of your head is reaching up and away from your grounded feet. And if you're comfortable to do so, close your eyes and observe your breath. Don't change anything, just observe. So today's practice is all about working with Apana Vayu. That's the downward moving energy. So as we go through the seasons and as we work from summer into the autumn weeks and months, Apana Vayu is going to help us to remove toxins, eliminate any negativity, so that we can face the weeks and months ahead feeling grounded, with a steady mind, and with optimum energy to avoid any fatigue or sluggishness as we move forwards. We'll begin the practice with a pranayama practice. We'll start with Kapalabhati breathing. And this is ideal for releasing toxins, energizing the body. So it's a forced exhalation using the abdominal muscles through the nose, and then the inhalation just happens naturally. And we're going to go for 3 rounds of 30 breaths. So inhale through the nose, round 1. Return to normal breathing and just observe how you're feeling. And an inhale, round 2. And release the breath and observe, noticing any warmth or energy circulating your body. And then inhale for round 3. And release. Close the eyes and just observe. maybe comparing the difference after the Kapalabhati breathing to the start of the session. I'm going to prepare the body today in a standing position. It's going to help us to feel grounded and help to build that energy that we're looking to take us through the weeks and months ahead. As you inhale, bring your hands out to either side of you, fairly relaxed, the hands are relaxed, and just imagine you've got a big ball of light or energy in between your hands. And as you exhale, you're going to take the hands up and over, and as you inhale, extend the spine upwards, and as you exhale, go to the side. Inhale back to centre, exhale to the beginning point, and then return. Exhale, inhale, extend the spine, exhale, lateral flexion over to the side. Inhale to return. Exhale, reverse the hands. Inhale, extend, elongate the spine, and then exhale, lateral flexion. Inhale to return. Exhale, inhale, lengthen, exhale, and extend. Always get the length before you go sideways. Inhale to return, exhale to lengthen. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to extend. Coming back, just one more. Length and extend. Coming back to centre and floating the arms down. Then inhale, float your arms up. You might want to take your feet slightly wider than hip width. As you exhale, just going to float around, maybe coming up onto the opposite forefoot for a spine twist. Inhale back to centre, exhale, float round to the other side, lifting off with the opposite heel, just to help extend the stretch here. Inhale to centre, inhale to centre, exhale. Just going to do two more, one each side. And maybe take the hand around the back. Just extend the stretch across the front of the shoulder. Back to centre and float the hands down. Bring the feet back to hip width if you've widened them. And bring your hands to your hips. And as you exhale, just going to fold forwards. Knees are soft. And allow the hands to rest down. Crown of the head is reaching down, and we're just opening up the back of the body. And on your next exhale, roll the spine upwards, one vertebra at a time. The neck is the last part of the spine to restack. Take the hands to the hips, and I'm going to move sideways for this one. So on an inhale, you're going to lead with the chest and come down to about halfway. Abdominal muscles are engaged, knees are soft. As you exhale, going to round the spine, tuck the chin, and roll up. Neck is the last part of the spine to unwind. Inhale, leading with the chest, and as you exhale, flow, make this a flowing movement. There's no start or stop point, it's just one cycle. And involve the neck as much as you like. So if you're quite happy with opening and closing the neck, that's fine. But if you have a neck injury, if you prefer to keep the chin tucked, that is also fine. Last one. Pause in the rolled downward position. Allow the hands to hang. If you have blocks, you can always support your hands on blocks to lengthen your arms. Just take a gentle sway side to side. If you'd like to go into ragdoll and hold the opposite elbows, you can do. And then rolling back up one vertebra at a time. Until you're back in your mountain pose. So something a bit different for the limbs. We are going to do sort of an activation with them. So we're going to start with the right hand. I'm just going to shake the hand out and get a bit of elbow movement in as well. So you've got the wrist moving, the elbow moving, and maybe bring the shoulder in as well. And it's all just, you know, anything goes here. No particular movement, maybe a bit of circling of the shoulder. Just doing whatever's comfortable, don't overdo anything. We all have different joints and different ranges of mobility. And when you think you've done enough shaking with that shoulder, just allow yourself to come back to mountain pose and notice the energy that's built up. Do you notice tingling around that right arm, around the hand, beyond the limb? Then we'll take it to the other side. So again, just starting off with the hand and the wrist, allowing the fingers to move. Nothing is, you know, tense here. Everything is just relaxed. And then bring in the elbow. Flexion and extension at the elbow is all we can do here. And then again, bring in the shoulder. A bit more movement available at the shoulder. So maybe there's some circles as well. I don't think I can circle and do the elbow and wrist at the same time. There's a challenge. And maybe the rest of the body's moving as well, that's fine. It's very hard just to isolate that one limb when you're just, you know, doing any old shaking and activation. And then settle back into mountain pose. And again, just observe what that sort of freestyle movement has done for the energy around your limbs. And now, slightly more challenging, we're going to go to the legs. So we'll start with the right. And again, just start with the foot. You might just start with a bit of circling, a bit of flexion, extension of the ankle, and then sort of bring in a bit of knee movement, bring in some hip movement. If you have a wall, you might want to lean on a wall or a piece of furniture. And again, so maybe some circles, just moving any which way and having a really good shake, really waking up the leg, the hip, the knee, the ankle. And then bring it to Tadasana. And observe. And finally the left leg. So again, you might just want to start with the ankle, some circles, some flexion, extension, and then a little bit of knee movement. And then bring in the hip. Again, use walls for balance if you need to, or furniture. Give it a good old shake out. Some circles. And coming back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Notice how you're feeling now. Feel that connection to the earth through the feet. Feel the energy, the prana that you've built up around your body. So we'll begin the main session today with Apana, Vayu, Kriya. And we're going to do 3 rounds. And this helps to stimulate the Apana Vayu within the body. So that downward moving energy that's mostly focused around the lower regions, around the pelvic region, the lower abdominal region. Let's bring your hands to prayer. As you inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Extend the spine upwards, but avoid the temptation to go into a back bend. And as you exhale, exhale with this audible sound downwards, taking the hands through to the heart, and then taking the hands down to Uttanasana, forward fold. And pause here for a breath or two. Knees can be soft. On your next inhale, take the hands and trace along the back of the legs, not touching the legs, but just an inch or two away from them. And then place the hands on the lower back and the kidney area and extend upwards, but again, not backwards. So opening the chest, but not too much. This is all about the downward movement on the exhale. As you exhale, trace the hands back down and bring your hands back to prayer. Pausing the downward phase. And as you inhale, bring the arms back up through the heart centre, back to the beginning. And repeat, exhale, audible exhale. And pause. Breathe as you choose here, so don't hold the breath if that's not comfortable for you. And on the next inhale, trace the hands along the back of the legs. And then place the hands on the kidney area, just a slight stimulation, gentle pressure there. Extend the crown of the head upwards. And you exhale, again, audible exhale. Back to Uttanasana, hands in prayer. Inhale, coming back up. To Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. And repeat, exhale. Really visualise all the toxins, negativity and negative energies releasing downwards. Let the earth take those away from you. As you inhale, trace the back of the legs. Place the hands on the lower back. Gentle stimulation of the kidneys that helps us to release toxins. And again, strong exhale as we come back down to Uttanasana. As you inhale, coming back up. Exhale, hands to heart centre, and then back to Tadasana. Inhale, bring the hands up, Urdhva Hastasana. And you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. And just pedal the feet out a little bit here as it's our first one of the day. So, one heel then the other. Be spacing the fingers and pressing the hands into the earth, so grounding through the hands, feeling stable, and bring yourself to stillness, extending through the back of the body, crown of the head to the tailbone, and extending through the back of the legs. On an inhale, raise your right leg up, keeping the hips square. And as you exhale, bring it forwards to the front of the mat, lower the left heel down, and inhale to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. As you exhale, bring the hands down to heart centre. So we're not going to do too much overhead work with the arms today. So that stimulates prana, and we're obviously trying to stimulate Apana Vayu instead. So really focus on the feet here. Back foot, the edge of that back foot, the outside edges, pressing down into the earth. The leg is strong. On the next inhale, straighten your front leg, straighten the right leg, and as you exhale, fold forwards over that leg into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. And again, if you'd like to use blocks, support your hands so you can feel really grounded, please do. The front knee can be soft, it can be bent, or it can be extended. And take your attention to the right kidney. Feel that area opening up, stimulating the kidneys to help us release toxins. On an inhale, take your gaze ahead of the right foot, bend the right knee slightly, and lift the left leg off into Virabhadrasana 3. And the options here are to either keep the hands down on blocks or take them back behind you, so reaching back. Hips are square, so raising the left inner thigh upwards, flexing the left foot, spacing the toes, the right foot is grounded. On an exhale, lower the hands down, lower the crown of the head down, raise the left leg up to a vertical split. Again, keeping the hips square here, so the inner left thigh is raising upwards. Again, take your attention to the right kidney. This isn't about how far you can reach the left leg. This is all about feeling grounded through the right foot and opening up through the right kidney area, the lower back. On an inhale, raise the head, soften the right knee, take the left foot back and come back to your Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take them down to the mat and return to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And feel the difference between the left and the right kidney area. On an inhale, raise the left leg. Hips are square. And as you exhale, step it forwards. Virabhadrasana 1 on the left side. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center and take your attention to the feet. Notice the arches of the feet. Feel that space where the energy can circulate underneath the arches. And as you inhale, straighten the left leg. And as you exhale, fold forwards into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, using props if you need to support the hands. Left knee can be flexed or extended. If you're in the extended position, just check that you're using your left quadricep muscle to help you straighten the leg and not locking the knee out. So as the crown of the head reaches towards the left foot, take the attention towards the left kidney area. As you inhale, raise up halfway, bend the left leg, transfer the weight, and raise up to Virabhadrasana 3. Option to keep the hands down or take the hands back, reaching backwards. Right foot is flexed, hips are square. Inner right thigh is reaching up and the crown of the head is reaching away in the opposite direction to the fingers. The left foot is grounded. Feel the roots growing through the left foot. And as you exhale, take the hands down, crown of the head down, vertical splits on the left side. Again, working on the right inner thigh lifting upwards this time to keep the hips square and opening through the left kidney area. Take a deep inhale and take your attention to that area as you inhale. And as you exhale, just visualize releasing any toxins, any negativity, any negative emotions. As you inhale, raise the crown of the head, bend the left knee, lightly step back to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, take them down to the floor, and step back to your downward facing dog. And just notice how that area feels around the lower back. On your next inhale, come up onto the toes, take the gaze forwards and step one foot and the other forward to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands out, raising upwards to Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart centre, back to Tadasana. Relax your shoulders and visualise that downward moving energy in the pelvic region, the lower abdominal region, growing roots through your feet, feeling grounded, starting to feel cleansed of everything that you don't want as we move forwards through the seasons. As you inhale, bring the arms back up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog again. As you inhale, raise the right leg and this time open the hip, bending the knee, pointing the toes and looking under the left arm towards the toes. As you inhale, straighten the leg and exhale, step it through, opening up to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Again, take the attention to the feet. So although we're focusing a lot on forward folding and Apana Vayu, it's good to add a little bit of other movement in. So we're going to go for some lateral movement this time. So as you inhale, straighten your right leg, using the quadriceps to help you straighten. And as you exhale, reach forwards and come down to Trikonasana. And again, a block or prop can be used just to support the hand. The gaze can either go up to the left hand or take it down to the right hand, right toes. And just feel the side of the body opening up. This is helping to stimulate Vyana Vayu, the outward moving energy. As you exhale, bring your left hand to your hip, take your gaze down to the front foot, and we're going to take the weight into that foot, taking the hand just slightly ahead of the foot, and coming up into Ardha Chandrasana. Opening the hips, stacking the shoulders, flexing the left foot, and the option to raise the left arm up. Feeling grounded through your right foot. Giving space around the shoulders. As you exhale, take your gaze down, take your hands down, and stepping back to your Warrior 2. As you exhale, coming back, pressing back to downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. As you inhale, raise the left leg, open the hip, bend the knee, point the toes, and look under the right arm towards your left toes. As you inhale, straighten the leg, and as you exhale, step forwards to Virabhadrasana 2 on the left side. As you inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, reach forwards, come down to Trikonasana. Same options apply. Neck and gaze up or down. Option for props for the left arm. Front knee can be flexed or extended, using the quads to extend the knee. Opening up the side body. take your attention to the right side of the waist. As you exhale, bring the right hand to the hip, take the gaze down to the left foot, bending the left knee, taking the hand just ahead of that foot, walking the right toes in and coming to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose on the opposite side. Stacking the shoulders, opening the hips. Right arm can reach up as an option. Feeling grounded through the left foot. And as you exhale, take the gaze down, take the hands down, flexing the front leg, stepping back to Virabhadrasana 2. On your next exhale, windmill the arms, frame the front foot, and step back to downward facing dog. And just pause here for 5 breaths. Taking your attention to the lower abdomen, the pelvis. Just visualising that energy flowing in the area. An option to apply Mula Bandha, the root lock. So contracting the pelvic floor muscles, just helping to redirect that energy. Keeping the glutes relaxed. As you inhale, come up onto the toes, take the gaze forwards, and step one foot forwards, then the other to Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, fold forwards into Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. And as you exhale, hands to heart center, and then Tadasana. Taking a step to the back of your mat, so you've got a wide stance, doesn't matter which way you go, and you may want to have blocks handy here, again that's up to you. As you inhale, bring your hands to your hips, and as you exhale, fold forwards, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. And just allow the back of the body to completely unfold. The back of the neck is relaxed. Crown of the head is reaching downwards. Tailbone is reaching upwards. Knees are just slightly soft. This is about opening up the back of the body, less about a hamstring stretch. Although ultimately you will possibly feel a hamstring stretch as well. As you inhale, we're going to come up to halfway. And I'm going to use blocks here. So I want to have a stable foundation because we're going to do another round of Kapalabhati breathing in this position. So make sure you're feeling comfortable. Let's take a few breaths. The shoulders are relaxed. There's space between the shoulders and the ears. And when you've got your position set, chin is slightly tucked, the back of the neck is long. And inhale. And relax. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, and then round 2. Using the abdominal muscles for the exhale. Everything else is staying steady also not straining, no tension. Inhale for the last round. And on the next exhale, just allow yourself to go into the full fold forwards. And just observe. As you inhale, come up to halfway. Exhale, pause. And next inhale, bring the hands to the hips. And carefully, gradually, gently bring yourself back up to standing. Take your feet together or hip width apart. To Tadasana. And just absorb all that energy that is now flowing around the body. So we're now going to take our practice down to the mat. As you inhale, come up to Urdhva Hastasana, and you exhale, come down to Uttanasana. Just fold forwards. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, and as you exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, come up onto your toes and bring the knees down. Bring the knees close together and bring your hands down to your sides and come down to Balasana, child's pose. And just notice that connection with the forehead and the earth. Just allowing a little bit of stimulation of the vagus nerve. Helping to trigger that relaxation response. And on the next inhale, take your knees wider, the arms forwards into a wide-legged child's pose. And as we did earlier with Trikonasana, we're now going to take the spine into a rotation. So we're going to take the right arm under the left for a child's pose twist, right ear to the mat. Just feeling a twist in the thoracic spine in the mid part of the back. Option to bring your left hand around the back, opening up the front of the left shoulder. So this is helping to stimulate Samana Vayu, the energy that helps us to digest. And bring in the left hand back, using that hand pressed into the mat to come back to centre. As you exhale. And then taking it to the side, so left arm under right. The left shoulder grounds down, left ear. An option to take the right hand around the back, opening the front of the right shoulder. And taking the right hand back, pressing into the mat, coming back to child's pose. And walking the hands in towards the knees, pressing yourself up to a seated position. Then gently coming down to one side into Baddha Konasana. So feet are soles together, knees are opening outwards. Just get yourself comfortable so you can feel almost a slight pelvic tilt forwards. Shoulders are back and down. We're going to forward fold. Hands around the feet or around the ankles, but we're not going to be too strict about this, so we're going to add an element of almost of yin into this, where we're just going to fold forwards and allow the back of the spine to open gradually in its own way. So the chin is tucked. And if this is quite uncomfortable for you with the hips, you can always use blocks under the knees here to just support the knees. There's no tension in the inner thighs. I'm just able to open up through the back of the body. Again, just stimulating that kidney area. And there's no forcing here. The arms aren't doing anything, they're just resting down. Taking your attention to the lower back. So as you inhale, just imagine that prana flowing down towards the kidneys. As you exhale, you're releasing any toxins, anything you don't want. I'm going to hold for 2 more breaths. And inhale, just gradually bring yourself back up. And extending the left leg to Jana Shirshasana. So right foot comes to the inner thigh of the left leg. Your body is facing over your left leg. And on an exhale, just going to reach forwards, no upward reach. And again, going to keep the left leg engaged, but the back is just going to be allowed to just unfold itself. If it's rounded, that's fine. If you prefer flat back, that's fine. Whatever feels good for your lower back. And again, there's no forcing it. Not using the arms. The arms are relatively relaxed. And this time you should be feeling that stimulation in the right kidney area and also down the back of the left leg. It's fine to have the left knee bent. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's thought that the bladder meridian runs up the back of the leg. So also the bladder's function is to release toxins, release what we don't need. And 2 more breaths. Now an inhale, gradually bring yourself up. Take your right foot out in front of you. Just pause there for a second. Just observe your body. Observe any differences from one side to the other. Taking the left foot into Janu Shirshasana. Slight twist of the body so that the body's coming down over the right leg, and on an exhale, just folding forwards. The right leg is engaged, the foot is flexed. But it's not overly tense, and of course the knee can be flexed if you prefer that. Again, I should have said it on the other side, if it's uncomfortable on the bent knee, you can always have a block or something, or a cushion underneath the knee. And the area of focus this time is the left kidney area and the back of the right leg. Again, using your visualization to inhale into those areas. Take the energy in, and as you exhale, allow everything you don't want to flow away. We're taking a little bit longer over these poses to allow us to feel the energy, to really allow a response, and when we come out of the pose we can really feel the energy inside us. And 2 more breaths. And the next inhale coming up, slowly extending the left leg. Again, just take a moment or two to observe. Before we move into Paschimottanasana, there's a couple of options here. I quite like to start this one with my knees bent and just sort of hugging underneath my thighs, bringing my chest to my thighs. So that's an option, or you might want to go into the full expression straight away, just a forward fold. So choose your option. I'm going to do a little bit of time in my hugging thighs version, and then I'm going to extend after that. This just allows me to open up through the back of the body before I bring the hamstrings into it. And after sort of a few seconds, you'll feel that you're able to go a little bit further as well. 30 seconds or so, and then your stretch reflex sort of resets itself, and you can possibly go a little bit further, but never force it. And if you've taken the hugging thighs version and want to go to the full version, now's the time. But this is your practice, to do what feels right for you. And 2 more breaths. And inhale, coming back up to seated position. Take a moment or two just to reflect, to notice and to be aware. Before we move into our penultimate pose, we're going to do another round of Kapalabhati in a seated position. So find a position that suits you. This is fine. You might like to kneel, you might like to sit. If you're going to sit, you might like to elevate your hips. I'm going to use my meditation cushion. So find your seated position, and you might like to put your hands on your thighs, just above your knees, just to help you give you a really solid foundation. So the spine is straight, it's neutral, it's straight. Back of the neck is long, chin is slightly tucked, shoulders are relaxed. Take a couple of breaths. And then inhale. Release. And inhale. Round 2. Yourself grounded. Downward moving energy. As you inhale for the final round. Just relax in your seated position. And just watch. Don't change anything. Be aware of the energy that's inside you, that surrounds you. And when you're ready, gradually open the eyes and just prepare yourself for our penultimate pose, which is going to be bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. So if you're on a prop of some sort, just take that away and just bring yourself down onto your mat. Place the hands by your sides, knees are bent, feet hip width, knees are hip width. And we're going to do a flowing movement here. So on an inhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis, and exhale, roll the spine upwards, one vertebra at a time. So we get to the upward position, and just pause here. Maybe apply the Mula Bandha. And as you exhale, rolling back down, one vertebra at a time. So you're back in your neutral position. On an inhale, roll up. Exhale, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, pause. Mula Bandha is an option. And as you exhale, flow back down to neutral. Inhale, the pelvis tilts. Exhale, the spine comes up. Inhale to pause. Mula Bandha. And exhale, flow back down. And just repeat that 2 or 3 more times at your own pace. This is a nice way to finish because we've done so many forward folds throughout the class. It's nice just to do a little bit of back extension, stimulating the prana Vayu, and just taking the spine through all ranges of motion today. Finish your last round, bring the knees into the chest, just hug them in, just rock from side to side, give your lower back a bit of a massage. And when you're ready, prepare for your Shavasana, extending the arms and the legs, feet fall open, and palms face up. Back of the neck is long, close the eyes. So as you lie in Shavasana, allow your entire body to relax. Allow your mat to absorb your weight. Feel completely at ease without a care in the world. Now imagine that you're lying in a forest. The temperature is warm, it's just right. And you're lying on a soft, mossy bed that's allowing you to melt into the ground. Above you, you can see the canopy, a multitude of different trees. You can hear the birds. You can see pockets of sky through the canopy. You feel completely at peace. Completely grounded as you allow that soft bed just to support you. The trees to protect you. The canopy to cover you. And as you lie there, you begin to notice the range of colours that surround you. The autumn leaves, vibrant, reds, oranges, golden yellows, flickering in the sun. Allow those colours to circulate around you. You can feel the colours like a warm blanket all around your body, supporting you and nurturing you. And in this peaceful forest, you relax in silence. Leaves. How beautifully they show us the process of change. Just as we'd never try to stop leaves from turning, we can allow joy, sadness, happiness and pain to cycle within us, safe in the knowledge that peace comes from letting go. As you bring your attention back to the room, feeling your mat beneath you, the air surrounding you. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And take your arms overhead and stretch your feet away from you for a full body stretch. And on your next exhale, hug your knees into your chest and roll into a ball and just rock from side to side to massage the lower back. Rolling onto one side. And then using your top arm, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed. And bring your hands to heart center. Feel the ground beneath you. We'll close the practice with an Om. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.